Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then my name is Hosanna, and on this channel we talk about career, tech and lifestyle. On today's video, I wanted to talk about how to find the correct career for you within the tech industry and basically finding your niche within the space. This is a query that I get a lot from people. I always get questions like this in my DMs, and people often message me to say things like, Hosanna, I would love to work within the tech industry, but I'm just not sure which career to go for, which job that I should be pursuing. And this is definitely very common. So I wanted to firstly say that you're absolutely not alone. Even I felt like this when it was time to kind of pick my career within the tech space. I originally thought that I'd become a software engineer because obviously I had learned to code at university and I had a technical degree, so being a software engineer made the most amount of sense. But that was until I found my thing in kind of tech sales and cloud computing. So on today's episode, as I said, I just wanted to address the ways that you can find your niche within the tech space. I'm so happy within the tech sales space, guys, and that's exactly what I want for you too. It is so important to really think about what you want to do within tech and not just go for the role that's most obvious. I think if I would have gone for software engineering, I wouldn't be very happy at the moment because I think it's not the right role for me right now. Maybe in the future, who knows? But for right now, it isn't. So that's why I think it's so important to find your niche and your thing within the tech space. Since I started working in tech, I have stayed within tech sales, so I haven't moved around the different industries, but I have changed my role. So I recently started a new job, and when I was looking for a new job, I definitely used the tips that I'm going to give you in this video, so I hope you guys find them useful. Knowing what you want to do within the tech space and finding your niche is really important because it will act as a foundation to your application and essentially your journey to tech. There are hundreds of jobs within the tech industry, and recruiters will expect you to know what you want to do because they will expect you to have a tailored resume, cover letter, and certainly interview questions. So this is a really important part to landing your first job in tech. So if you're sat there thinking, well, how do I do this? Well, don't worry, I am going to tell you the steps to finding your niche within the tech space. So the first step to finding the correct career for you within the tech space is understanding your why. So this is looking at your motivations as to why you want to work in tech in the first place. So thinking about what motivates you about the industry, what are you passionate about within the industry? Things like, is it because you're motivated by money and a great salary? That was definitely one of the reasons why I wanted to work in tech. We all know one of the good benefits of working within the industry is having a high salary. Or is it maybe because you're just wanting to build up your technical skills? Or maybe because you want to have an impact on the world? Knowing those reasons are really important because they will help you to choose your career within the tech space. For example, like I said, if you're motivated by money, then you should definitely be looking at tech sales. But if you're thinking about being a little bit more technical, then roles within the engineering space would be more for you. If you don't know what you're motivated by or struggle to understand what you're passionate about, then you can definitely take some tests online. I've taken them in the past, and I definitely used to take them when I was in school when we were doing kind of career planning. So just type in motivation for career test online, I think something like that, and something will definitely come up. Take the tests and have a look at the results that they give you and use that as a foundation to think about what might motivate you within the tech space. Remember that your motivation is just a foundation to finding the correct role. It doesn't have to be the main reason that you look for a role, especially if it's something like monetary value. Yes, money is great. I know because I love money and I'm motivated by high salaries, but it can't be the only reason that you look for a role within tech. You have to kind of think about it as a foundation and then add those other elements which will also motivate you to find the correct role. So the second step to finding the correct job for you within the tech space is thinking about your transferable skills. So looking at what skills you already have that you can use within the tech industry. What are you already good at, and do those skills align with a role within the tech industry? I think a big misconception that a lot of people have is that in order for you to get a job within the tech industry, you essentially have to ditch all your old skills and look to build all new tech skills, which I think is completely untrue. The skills that you already have are really important and they will help you in your new tech job, so you should definitely be using them. For example, if you have strong organization skills, then you can use that to become a project manager. But if you're more analytical, then you could definitely use those skills to go into data science. There are lots of people who do career changes over to tech, and they're often hired because of their previous skills and not the skills that they have built for the tech industry. So for example, there are companies who will hire you because of your industry knowledge, especially in the space of like tech sales. I certainly work with people who come from all different walks of life, you know, ex-police officers, ex-nurses, ex-head teacher, because they've got the skills that we may not have internally within the tech space, and they definitely bring a lot to the industry. The final step to this, guys, is thinking about what you definitely don't want to do. So looking at your past experiences and thinking about, is there anything that I really didn't enjoy that I wouldn't want to take in my new career? I remember thinking that I really didn't want to be in a role where I'd be stuck in the office. So being in tech sales was perfect for me because there was lots of travel opportunity. You might not want to work with customers or be customer facing, so you definitely would not be able to go for tech sales, but you might go for an internal role within the tech space, or possibly a dev role where you wouldn't be working with the end users directly. Ruling out what you definitely don't want to do is really, really important, guys. Don't underestimate this and think that you just have to take any job that the tech industry offers you because you want to work in tech. Because at the end of the day, you will eventually not like the role anyway. This is about you and finding the correct role that works for you. So those are my 3 easy steps of finding the correct role for you within the tech industry, guys. I kind of think about it like a little bit of an equation. So you think about your motivations plus your transferable skills minus what you definitely don't want to do, and that equals the correct role for you within the tech space. Finding the correct role for you within the tech space is really important because it will not only impact what you do now, but it may have an impact on what roles you do in the future. So for example, if you start off with a non-technical role, it may be a little bit more difficult to move over to a tech role. It's definitely not going to be impossible, but it will definitely have an impact on you making that decision. As I said at the beginning of the video, guys, I really feel that this has to be step 1 to landing your first job within the tech industry. Finding a job is really a job in itself, and knowing what you want to do will make your journey all the more easier. Whatever role you decide to go for within the tech space will open up new doors for you and hopefully set you off in a path that helps you to have future roles within the industry. So what I want to say is that there definitely isn't a correct role to go for. It's really just about thinking, what exactly do you want out of your career and what do you want out of your own life? Don't feel like you have to go into a specific direction just because you have certain skills or because one role is more popular than the other. Definitely choose a career that is right for you, because at the end of the day, you are the one that's going to have to do this role. It's important to think about what your needs are and ultimately whether or not the role that you choose is going to meet them. Outside of the 3 things that I mentioned today, there are other considerations which may also help you to decide what role you go for within the tech space. So one of those things being which company you decide to work for. So you may want to work in big tech and FANG and go for the Googles and the Facebooks, or you may want to go for a startup. And those different types of companies will both have different pros and cons and will also have different roles within them. So that will definitely impact your decision in regards to what role you should be pursuing. Another consideration for deciding which tech role to go for will be location. So tech is actually quite location based. Depending on what role you want to do, you may end up living in a different city. So for example, within Microsoft, there are a lot of salespeople within the UK subsidiary, but if you want to be something like a product manager, most of those are based in Seattle. So that might impact the decision you make in regards to what role to go for. But if you are open to going anywhere, then great, because that's lots of opportunity for you. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you found today's video useful. I really wanted to just talk about some of the struggles that people face when deciding what role to go for within tech and let you guys know that you're definitely not alone. I hope the tips that I gave today were helpful. So please go like, share, comment, and of course subscribe, and download my free tech starter guide in the description below, and I will see you at my next video. Bye.